we've gotten off to a good start. We have done several things. If you go up to the club, you'll notice that the Wi-Fi has been tremendously improved. That was a result of Mike Palmer doing an amazing amount of work in dealing with the Verizon situation there. And by the way, due to Mike's work, we've also saved the club and the PCA thousands of dollars by getting rid of Verizon lines we didn't need. We assisted with the natural gas conversion. We've assisted with, now currently assisting with the new Spazzato website. We developed an educational component of which I've kind of overseen. And as you all know, for the most part, we've done these tutorial sessions for iPhone. And by the way, as a shout out for those 2 or 3 people in the peninsula that have Android phones, I'm sorry, for the 20 or 30 that have Android phones, we are going to have an Android session on the 25th. John Steitman, Jay Richmond are going to do basically the same thing we've been doing for the iPhone, but for the Android. That's on the 25th. Stay tuned also for one of our favorite events at the end of the year, which will be our Tech Committee Holiday Tech Gift Guide. And there are some amazing gifts that are available now. Last but not least, I want to talk about just very quickly, I'm assuming that everybody on this Zoom call knows about the Tech Forum. If you haven't, shame on you. You must sign up. The Tech Forum was developed basically to take the place. It is not a geek out area. It is for anybody and everybody. If you don't know how to put your battery in your thermostat died and you don't know how to put it in, you go to the Tech Forum. Now, you could go to Google, but the Tech Forum will give you an answer very quickly. And if Dieppe Lavu has anything to do with it, probably within 2 or 3 minutes of you asking the question. But what we did with this is essentially, this forum is for Peninsula residents only. So it's an enclosed environment. Feel free to go there and to ask whatever information you have or any questions you have. And it works collectively. If you're on the forum and you see an area that you know about that you can help with, by all means, we want you to answer the questions. So I believe I've given enough of a plug to the Tech Committee and the forum. And so let's start out. Now, I'm going to be doing this a little differently than I have done before. I have no idea whether this is going to blow up, and work, but I am crossing my fingers that it does. What I'm going to essentially do when I start is live feed my phone as I move through the phone. So I'm also going to be doing that as I read, and I don't know how good I am at doing more than one thing. I'm not even that good at doing one thing, so we'll try and see if I can multitask here. Okay, I want to start with, let me give you just as a rundown on what we're going to do tonight. Let me pull this up. I believe this is up. Can everybody see that? Well, we're good. Okay. So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going over some of, not all of, and hopefully we're going to have enough time to get through these, but we're going to go over some of what I believe are the more important features of this iOS 15 update. By the way, if you have updated, then you probably received today a notice to upgrade to 15.02. Go ahead and do that. It's a security edition. Plus, They have included some features that weren't in the original upgrade, and they're going to be doing that throughout the next several months, adding some features that I'm going to talk about that aren't currently available. So we're going to start with the new security and privacy features, basically that are incorporated into what is now called iCloud Plus. Those of you that upgraded might have seen iCloud Plus. You're wondering what it is. I'm going to talk about it. Then I'm going to get to some of the cool stuff, the stuff that I think is kind of fun. FaceTime is totally different. Well, not totally different. FaceTime now, with FaceTime, you don't need to be an iPhone or Apple user. You will now be able to FaceTime with your Android friends, with your Google phone, with your Windows friends. That's a huge feature. I'm going to then get into live text, maybe one of my favorite features of the 15 upgrade. And then I'm going to talk about focus mode, which I also think is very cool. It deals with notifications and how you can turn those notifications off when you're doing things. And finally, if we have some time, depending on, I'll get into the small stuff, but useful areas. And again, if I have enough time, I'll just show the iPad. By the way, everything I talk about this evening is available on the iPad as well. The one thing I will talk about, if I can get to it on the iPad, is the multitasking. I'm going to explain what it is. They have really improved what I think is a very useful feature. So now let's see if I can get this. Okay, and there is my desk, and there is my iPhone, and hopefully everybody can see that. So we're going to start out with iCloud Plus, and what are the features that came with iCloud Plus. Anybody that has a paid iCloud account, which I'm assuming is going to be most of you, the phone comes with 5 gigabytes of storage for free. That's not very much. Most people, especially if you're saving photos, probably upgraded for 99 cents a month, upgraded to the plan that gives you 200 gigabytes. And here we go, or 100 gigabytes, okay? So you're seeing here that I have 200 gigabytes, okay? I upgraded the account. Anybody that upgraded the account was entitled to and actually did get iCloud Plus in the features that come with iCloud Plus. So the first feature I'm going to talk about is something that I think is absolutely a really great security feature, and it's called iCloud Relay. What it basically is it's Apple's version, in a way, of a VPN, only very simple. It is not a VPN in some respects, but in some respects, it's also more secure. Now, it will only work with Safari. So they have improved, by the way, the Safari app, if you have tried it. Most people probably don't use it as a browser. I highly recommend that you do now, especially when you're out, because with iCloud Relay, you're really you're getting a VPN-like experience that is extremely secure. So what we're going to do is I am going to, here we go, iCloud. So you're going to tap, you're going to go in, let me start again. You're going to tap your name, okay? Now, we are recording this, by the way, so even though I'm going through this as you're trying to do this on your phone, you'll be able to see the recording. So I'm in the screen, I tap on iCloud. I go down to iCloud Relay. What you want to do is turn that on. Let me see if I can get this clear here. You want to tap that on. Then go up to IP address and do maintain general location. What this is going to do is basically hide your browsing from Safari, almost again like a VPN. Unlike a VPN, you won't be able to choose the area that you want. Most VPNs allow you to choose an area that would show up in an IP address, but this doesn't. But I highly suggest that everybody utilize this relay. It really is a very secure feature. The next feature of the iCloud Plus is email privacy protection. So let's go out of iCloud. Let's go to settings and let's scroll to Mail, the Mail app. Tap on the Mail app. Now, scroll to privacy protection. Let me tell you what this is. Every time you send an email to anyone, but especially companies, your email is that email, an email address, and I'm not going to get really technical about this, but it is giving off information unbeknownst to you, even just a regular email. What this does is hide that information. No longer will the recipient, especially when it comes to companies, be able to get that information. Everybody turn that on. The next feature is maybe one of my absolute favorite features. It is the hide my email burner accounts. Apple is now looking at the scenario where how many of us, we go online, we want to get an article, but they ask for our email address, or we order something and they're asking for our email address. And what happens? We all know they sell that information. We get bombarded with emails that become spam, some that don't, that we try to get rid of. Well, Apple has a pretty cool answer to that. And that is called hide my email. So we're going to go back to top of settings, tap your name, and we're going to go to iCloud, and we're going to go to hide my email. Everybody see that? Tap on that. Okay, there we go. Let me get this. I know that this isn't so clear for everybody. It looks like it's a little foggy right now, and I apologize. Okay, I've already created an email. What Apple does, what iCloud does, is it creates in essence, a fake email account that is not an account, an address that is forwarded to your email, whatever email you want. And this is the email that will go out that you can use when you are going online, when you're going to, you want to get that article, you want to buy something, but you're not real happy about giving them your email address. You can create an email address. Very simple. I hit create email. Apple has already created that email. I can't do, that's Apple's email. I don't have anything to do with it. If you don't like the way it looks, if you don't like reducer_trig, you could tap, give me a different address. So now I've got Pied Plum OC. Okay, now I'm going to go with that. It allows me to hit label that. So you can label it anything you want. You can label it. I would generally say that you'd label it with where you used that. Let's say, it's a news site, and you wanted to get that article, and you had to give them your email address. This is what you give them, and you can label that. Now, these email addresses will forward to your email. You can set this up. You can see the forward to. I've got it set up so that it forwards to me, but you can have this forwarded to whatever email address you want. Okay. When the recipient gets this email, what's great about this is even the IP address, they will not be able to trace this email to you. What you can then do is, let's say you start getting a bunch of emails coming to that account that are being forwarded to you. What do? You delete that email. You delete this account, and no more emails, no more spam emails. This is a really, really cool feature. You can have as many burner email accounts as you want, as few as you want, and you can delete them anytime you want. So this is, I highly recommend everybody, and you're going to have to play around with this, but it's not hard to do at all. I would test it out, maybe send an email to one of your friends just to see how that works. So that is hide my email. And that it gets us then into a couple of more security features that Apple has introduced. I'm going to talk about the app privacy report, separation alerts, account recovery contacts, which I refer to as the Drew and Kathy Anderson feature, and separation alerts, and even find your phone even if it's turned off. So we're going to start with the app privacy report. What is that? Well, we all want to know, or I think we would, is who's tracking us? What sites are tracking us? I mean, Apple allowed us to turn off tracking, but there's still tracking, as everybody has read, that is still taking place. If you want to find out who is tracking you, you can go to privacy, scroll to privacy right here. Click on privacy. Scroll down. I believe it's at the bottom. I think it's at the bottom. Where are we here? Did I lose this? So privacy record app toggle on. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Very bottom. Why didn't I look at it at the very bottom? At the very bottom, you'll see record app activity. I've already toggled that on. Now, it's going to give me a list of the activity of all apps that have been tracking me so that I can possibly delete them or I can take action. It will give you this list over a course of 30 days. And then if for whatever reason you wanted to save it, you can actually save that report. So I would toggle that on, even if you don't use it. It's a good thing to have. Okay. The next thing that I'll talk about is account recovery contacts, as I kind of referred to this, the Drew and Kathy Anderson feature, but they are not the only ones. Many is the time that I've been helping people, and one of the first things I say, almost the first thing, if it's an Apple device, is what's your Apple ID? About 75% of the time, they know their Apple ID, 25% don't. But I would say it's 50-50 as to whether they know their Apple ID password. If you don't have that, you're in deep trouble. If you have to make any changes, especially you get a new phone, something happens to the phone, you need to know what that password is. I can't tell you the number of times, again, that I've been with people and they pull out their encyclopedia of passwords. It's a 30-page notebook. They've got 3,000 passwords and it's, oh, well, I use this. I think this is it. Oh, no, maybe I used that a year ago. Oh, no, I think it's this one. They've got them. I've seen people have them written sideways, up and down. What this feature does is it allows you to assign an individual. Has to be over 13. They have to have an iPhone. They have to have updated to iOS 15, and it allows you to assign a contact to basically be your savior. So you can't find your password. You call your contact, or you call your contact over if you're in the same house. That contact goes into their phone, and a code is automatically generated that they forward to you. So let's take a look at that. We're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to let's see, password and security. Let's see. We go, I think we're going to do password. We go into here, password and security. We're into right here. So let's hit password and security. Okay. We're going to scroll down and you're going to see account recovery. You're going to tap that. What you're then going to do is you're going to add a recovery contact. Now, here's an immediate issue that I haven't even done yet. This is so new. In order to take advantage of this, both you and that person need to have updated all of your devices, your iPad. And all devices on your Apple ID must be updated. So you got a watch. You got, if you're anything like me, you know, that's probably 35 devices, but you have a watch, you have an Apple TV, maybe another Apple TV, you have an iPad, you have your phone. They all have to be updated. Once they're updated, you can then go forward and create when I say create, what it's going to do is you're going to basically enter someone's name. They have to have updated all of their devices. You're going to send them an email that they will, and which is an invitation. They will then accept that. And then if ever they, you find that you need to recover your password or change it, they can go in account recovery and they could hit iCloud data recovery service right here. That is kind of, you can see that there's nothing there now because I don't have a, I don't have anybody that I am being the account recovery person for. You can have more than one account recovery person. This is a really valuable tool. Of course, another downside to it is you have to presently know your Apple ID. It ain't going to work if you don't know your Apple ID, because you have to know your Apple ID to use this. So maybe it's a little counterintuitive in that respect, but I really highly recommend everybody do this. Take the time to update all your devices, have the person that's your recovery person do theirs as well. So we okay? Everybody with me so far? The next area I'm going to talk about are separation alerts. This is a new feature. Apple keeps improving the Find My, which is one of my favorite things on the phone. If you're tied to somebody else's Find My, their phones, for instance, there have been times, but then again, my wife can trace me as well. But essentially, this allows you to find that person or find their phone, which usually finds that person. And that app is, I have it in utilities, and there's the Find My. Okay. While I'm doing this, I'm going to quickly tell you, many of you probably can't find the Find My. You're going through the phone. Where the heck is that? Where did I put that? Well, when the last update took place last year, a little feature was added to the phone that almost nobody, I'm sure, uses, the app library. Every one of your apps is in the app library. They're put into folders. Apple did that. Don't worry about the folders because you'll never go into the folders to use them. What this does is every single app is in here. So tap on the top. Every app is in alphabetical order. Scroll down to the M's. Okay, if I'm looking for my Find Me, Find My, I guess that's the F. Find My right there. Or, of course, I could have just typed in Find My up at the top. This is a great feature. It really is. It's a quick way to find for those of you that have more than 10 pages of apps. And some of you have a lot more than that. I've seen your phones. And you can't find an app. This is the way you find it quickly. The other thing this does is it allows you to clean up your phone because you can go into any of the apps on your phone and you can tap the app. Okay, I'm going to do it with this app right here. And it's going to say, edit home screen. I'm going to edit home screen. And I'm going to tap it again. Okay, I'm going to tap the 0. And you can see where it says delete app, remove app from home screen. Well, I don't use this Hey app very much at all, but I don't want to delete it. But I still want it on my phone, but I don't want it messing up the home screen because I don't use it. So what I do is I say remove from home screen. The system now placed that in the app library where I can find it by just doing a search. For the first time, this was introduced on the iPhone last year. It was not on the iPad, but the new iPad update does include the app library. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about originally. Here is the Find My app. Most of you are familiar with this. The service that I'm talking about right now has been turned on. If you updated to iOS 15, it's on. It turned it on automatically. This allows you to find every one of your devices, but it does something very cool. I'm going to go to my iPad, okay? And you'll notice that there are a couple of things down here, okay? First of all, it's showing where my iPad is right now. If I can't find my iPad in the house, I tap play sound. So you can't find your iPhone. It's in the house. You don't know where it is. It's under a pillow. You don't know where it is. Take your iPhone. I mean, your iPad. Go ahead and hit that. it'll play a tone that you can hear. Same thing with, you can do it from your Mac, you can do it from your watch if you have a watch. But here's the very cool part right here. Notify when left behind. Every one of you has this turned on and you want to keep it on. And what that does is it uses geofencing to a degree. And what that means, geofencing, is when you are outside of an area, when your device goes outside of a particular area, an action can take place. We have a door lock, a smart door lock. When our car goes about 500 yards down, it automatically locks. When we come home and the car gets within 500 yards of the house, it automatically unlocks. What this does is you're in a restaurant, cafe. You've got your phone and your iPad. You leave your iPad back at the restaurant. You get in your car. Now, I've had that happen before. I don't have the iPad. I go, oh, damn. Well, I could always go to find and it would show me on the map. It would show me on this map here where it was. It's showing that it's home now because it is home. But it would show me, oh, and then I would say, oh, I left it at that restaurant. But what this does is it betters that. I get in the car, okay? I'm about 50 to 100 feet or yards away. It's going to alert me that I left that device behind. This is just a great feature. Along with this, Apple added a feature that's built in. You don't have to do a thing. If your phone is off, used to be your phone was off and you didn't know where it was, well, you were kind of out of luck because Find Me didn't work with that. Well, Find Me now does work with a phone. All phones, unless they're several years old, even older than that, if your phone battery dies, it turns off, there is always a small amount of energy emanating from that phone. Well, that's enough for that device to be tracked. The way it works is you've left your phone, you've lost your phone, and it's been sitting, for a week. The battery's dead. I happen to walk by it, and I have an iPhone. My iPhone's going to pick up that signal, and it will, unbeknownst to me, relay that signal to you on a new device, maybe on a new phone you got, or on your Mac, or maybe on your iPad. It will let you know your phone has been located. It is, and it will show you on the map. And you don't have to do a thing. That is a feature that's built in. The last in security, and I don't know that this is so much security, it actually is it's a dual security and what I call a convenience feature, is using Siri offline. So we all know that basically Siri, you had to be online, either cellular data or Wi-Fi, to use Siri. The problem with that, as with Alexa or Google, is that anytime you use Siri, of course, you're being recorded. Where those recordings go is up for debate, but you're being recorded. What Apple has done with this feature, it allows you to turn off, it allows you to take Siri offline, which does a couple of things. Number one, it makes it more secure. The only thing that you lose is Siri will work in every way. You can change settings. You can do a search on your phone. If you do a search that you want search results from the web, through Siri that it would not be able to do if you have it turned, if you have Siri offline. But one of the cool features that I've discovered recently, because I am lazy, and as many people who get emails and texts from me know, there are a lot of misspellings. It's why I have Susan Bees look over everything I send. It's because the text recognition isn't so great. Well, it is unbelievably improved, much more improved. Siri is faster and much more improved, with it being offline. So how do we do that? It's a little bit of a, it's not as intuitive as you would think. We're going to go back to settings, and we're going to go to privacy. Down here. Get this clear. Okay. Then, and this is where, don't ask me why, but this is how you do this. What you do is you go and let's see, we're going to go to speech recognition, and no, I'm sorry. As I told you, trying to do two things at one time was going to be a challenge for me in any event. So we do, I'm sorry, I took you to the wrong place. I should have taken you to, I apologize. I should have taken you, let's go out of privacy and let's go to Siri and search. I apologize. Siri and search, tap that. Now, what we're going to do is you come down here and you basically do make sure all of these are ticked. Allow notifications, show Siri an app, show Siri when sharing, show when I listen. Make sure all of those are on. I know, again, it's not intuitive. There should be, and I'm sure they'll deal with this next time to have a turn off, turn on Siri, but this is what you do to take Siri. You're not turning it off, you're just taking it offline. Try it and see if you do use Siri, especially for dictation on short things. See if I'm not correct that it is faster and more accurate. We finished with the security part of things. And as I said, unlike the last time when we had this session and I ran through everything very quickly, do we have questions? Mark?
There was just one question a while ago. Should we upgrade to iOS 14.8 before upgrading to iOS 15?
Oh, I'm so glad that question was asked, because I would have forgotten to talk about a feature of iOS 15. One of the features of iOS 15 is that you don't have to use iOS 15. In other words, first, to answer that question, no, you don't. If you do an upgrade, if you're at 14.1 or you're earlier, all you have to do is upgrade. It will take you to 15. No, when you do the upgrade, it's not a matter of do you upgrade to 14 first and then you upgrade to 15. No, as soon as you do the upgrade, it takes you to 15, no matter what iOS, no matter what operating system you are on. But let's say you don't want to update to 15. Let's say your phone doesn't let you because it's a little bit older and you don't have as much memory and you don't want to buy a new phone. What Apple did for the first time is, usually in the past, the problem with not updating to the new iOS is that any security updates that they came out with, you weren't going to get unless you update it to the newest iOS. What Apple has done now is if you want to stay with 14, again, for whatever reason, you will be able to do that. You will get the 14 updates, security updates. So that, I guess, is that's the only question, Mark?
That was the only question, Barry.
Okay. Either I put everybody asleep or I have explained this better than I thought that I could and have taken my time.
We'll go with the stellar explanations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
And that's why we work so well together.
absolutely.
Okay. The next, we're now into what I call the cool stuff. And we're going to start with an app that everybody has used probably many times, and that's FaceTime. But you've never used FaceTime like you use Zoom. Why? Because it didn't have the same features. And one big deficit in using FaceTime as if you were going to have a Zoom meeting was, as we all know, our friends that don't have Apple devices, we could not FaceTime with them. That's no longer the case. So let's go to FaceTime. Okay, all of you find your FaceTime. I'll take time waiting for you to find it. Remember, if you can't find it, go to that app library, tap FaceTime. Notice the interface is very different. Notice this, create link. Tap on create link. Now, what you're going to do is, where do you want to send that link? Okay. I'm going to hit messages, and maybe I'll send one to Mark. Okay, is that his address? Yeah, I'm going to text it to him. And now I hit send. Mark will click on that link. What will happen is FaceTime will open in a browser. It won't open in the FaceTime app. And the reason for that, obviously, is that if you don't have an iPhone, you wouldn't have a FaceTime app. So the way this works is through the browser. I would open up my FaceTime. Mark would hit the his link, and away we go. You could do this with multiple people. And so for the first time, FaceTime can now be used with our brethren that don't believe in the Apple ecosystem. Another feature now, as we get to Zoom-like features that were not available for FaceTime, and maybe we want to use FaceTime instead of Zoom because it's easier and because we're familiar. For the first time now, you can schedule a FaceTime session. You have to use, and no matter what calendar, you may use a different calendar, but in this case, you're going to use the Apple Calendar. Okay, here's the Apple Calendar. I'm going to click create a new meeting. And I'll title this just meeting. Okay, now notice this right here, location. You tap on location. You then tap on FaceTime. Then you can go down to invitees. You click on plus. This brings up your contacts, or you can put in a contact that may not be in your contacts. They're sent an invite to the meeting, just like Zoom, and you have now scheduled a meeting in Zoom. I've tried this. It works great. I really love the sending of the link. It's very quick, very simple. And again, it allows you now to have group FaceTime meetings or sessions and be able to include the people that don't have Apple devices. Aside from these two features, what FaceTime also did was a couple of things. They added some features, and I'm just going to go over those rather than show them to you, but they're very easy to access. They've added spatial audio to, you don't have to do anything to access spatial audio. When you do a FaceTime session now, let's say it's in a group, spatial audio is absolutely awesome. It essentially, everybody that is talking on FaceTime, you can, I guess the best way to describe it is you're hearing them as if they're on the left side, you're hearing them come in from the left on, if you're looking at the grid. If they're on the right side, you're hearing the sound come in from the right. It is very cool. And you don't have to do a thing. It's added automatically. Do a FaceTime call and try it, and you'll see, what I'm talking about. Let me just cancel here. Okay. They've done a couple of other things. They have added a filter sound and a wide spectrum that can be accessed from the control center when you go. I can't do it now because I have to be on the FaceTime call to do it. But essentially, the filter filters background noise. So you're at home, maybe the TV is playing in another room, but it can be heard. We all know that. We've been through that. This feature filters that sound in the background. Wide spectrum, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure why I use wide spectrum, because it does the opposite of filter. It lets all the sound in. Why I'd want that, I haven't the slightest idea, but maybe some people want to have their call and they want to let the people that are on that call know what kind of pandemonium is going on at home so that they can have pity on them, I guess. So you can access those. When you go to a FaceTime call, you'll be able to see that there is an icon with what looks to be an earbud. You can also access that when you're on the call. You could also access that by going to the control center. It's not in here now, but it would be in the control center, which you can access, by swiping down, depending on the phone you have, either swiping down from the corner, if you have starting, I think, at the 10 level. If you have anything before that, you would swipe up from the bottom to get to the control center. The final thing that they've added, and it really is nice, is an enhancement to the facial features. If any of you have used portrait mode in photography on any of the phones starting, I believe, with the 11, it's really a great, it gives great results. Portrait mode is now offered in a FaceTime call. And what it does essentially is it blurs the background and puts your face to the forward. The other thing you can now do with FaceTime, which you couldn't do before, very Zoom-like, is you can now do a share screen. Again, I can't show it to you because I'm not in a FaceTime call, but what you would do is you would go in on a FaceTime call, you'll see an icon. in the shape of a screen, and you would tap on that. And what that's going to allow you to do is share any app that you have, any document or any app. Let's say you're working in a a particular app that you want to share the information in that app. You could do that just as you would share, do a share screen in Zoom. The final equation of the share screen is a feature that isn't up and running yet, but it will be very soon. Be on the lookout for this. When you get an iOS 15.03 or 04, look to see in the description of the features if they have activated SharePlay. SharePlay, for the first time, what it allows you to do is, with another Apple user, you can share a video, you can share streaming content. You could have a movie party from any of the streaming services. Not sure yet that Netflix is offered. It will be though. So you go on to one of the streaming services, you turn on a movie, and you want to have a movie party and a virtual movie party. Everybody on that call, that Zoom call, is watching that movie. At the same time, they have controls too. One of them has to get up and visit the restroom, go in because they want to get more popcorn. They could hit the pause button and it pauses it for everybody. In addition to video, SharePlay also does a great job, or will do a great job. It will share your music in digital format. Unlike playing a song from the background, which we all know doesn't work very well, you're playing the music directly from your phone through that FaceTime call. So that is FaceTime. I'm going to stop here before I get to live text to see if there are any questions. Mark?
I have to unmute myself. The only question was, will the seminar be available to watch at a later time? If so, where? And it will be on the Three Amigos YouTube channel. And I'm going to send the link now.
It'll be on the Three Amigos. What we do is, it's on the Three Amigos channel. It is also on the Peninsula Tech Committee channel. So it's on both.
Right, I'm going to send both links, Barry.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Mark. Okay. I don't know if this is my favorite feature, but I love live text because it really rocks. I'm hoping that this is going to work. This is one of those features that I go to demonstrate that has all the possibility of not coming off too well when I go to demonstrate it. But you'll get the idea. What live text does is I can scan text from a sign, from a document, from a photo, text that's in a photo. Okay, I can scan a text. I can scan handwritten text, and I can interact with that text. So let me start off and see how well this is actually going to work. I need to scroll here to a picture of a receipt here, if I can find it. Okay. This was a receipt that I had sent to my son. And you'll notice there's a phone number at the top and his address is there. Notice this button right over here. I just touched it. It made all of that text live. Now, if this works, and I can't assure you that it will, I tap on it. Ah, it worked. I can make a call right from there. Don't have to copy it. Don't have to put the number in my phone. Even cooler, his address. I tap it. Just took me and opened up maps. This is very, very cool. And you can do this from any text, any photo, if it has text. You can, as I say, you can do it from signs. You can do it, basically anything that you can take a picture of with, and using your camera. So I don't know if I should take a chance, but I am that I did this and it actually worked. But now, and if this works, this will be so great. It does work. Whether it's going to work in this demonstration is another story. Okay. So there's my phone number and old address. I'm going to open up my camera. I'm going to open up my camera. And what I'm going to do is you're going to see this little icon at the bottom. When it detects actionable text, you see that at the bottom, my finger's right there. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay, notice that it did it. Now, I tap on that. Well, nope, that wasn't going to, let me get it a little clearer here. This does work really well, but
when no one's watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's going to give me what it would do when it does work. It just like you saw before. It dials. It maybe that it's a little too dark in here. It actually needs to focus, and it may be a little dark. Let's see. I'll try that one more time, but I think everybody gets the gist of it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so let me move over. Let me try this. Let's see if the address works, because this would be the same thing. I come over, and again, I think the reason that it is not working is because I've turned down the lights in here to get less glare. And okay. Normally, all I'd have to do is do the tap, and it would open up. Of course, I did this right before the session here today, and it worked perfectly, but of course it's not now. Okay, well, this does work. Even though that's handwriting, that actually would open up. It would either dial the number, or it would open up the it would open up maps to give me directions to that address. The other thing it does is, and I love this feature, visual lookup. So let's open up photos. Okay, and let me go to for those of you, I'm being very careful here on the photos. Don't worry, we won't have any mishaps. There have been mishaps in the past, but with me in photos, but this won't be one of them. Okay. Okay, so I open up this photo here and notice this icon at the bottom. I tap on that icon. It doesn't work with every picture. It's going to interact with things that it can look up. So it says plant. I tap on that. It takes me to information about tulips, which is what that is. Let me show you another, because it really is. It's very cool. It's very accurate. Let me do this. Open up photos again. Albums. Let me find. Okay. That's the luckiest dog in the entire world. I tap this. It does a dog lookup. Of course, that's a dog. But it realized that it was a French bulldog. That's artificial intelligence at its simplest, but that's how cool, this is. This little icon at the bottom, let me go back here. This thing down here, little icon. Any photo that you have, if there is something actionable that it can look up, you will see that in your photo. You tap that and it will look that information up. And you can see how accurate it is. It didn't just say look up dog. It looked up dog, but it realized just from the picture that Hugo's a French bulldog. As I say, you can do this from any of the photos that you have. The last on live text is the translation. So let's see if we can get some success here. Okay. This is from an espresso coffee machine that has, 15 different languages in there. And I think the problem that I'm going to have here is the low light. I think I'm not going to be able to do it because of the low light, but you do the same thing. Basically, well, I get some live text there. Let's see if it'll do it. Okay. So I'm going to choose this text here, and I'm going to do that. I'm then going to see if I can make this clear for you all to see. And then I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to hit translate. And it did. It just translated this up here. That is live text. And it's a very, very cool feature.
Harry, we had one question that came in early on. And it was from Ginger, and she wanted to know if we could do the gift guide session earlier this year because of the supply chain issues and the gift shortage and so
on. Yeah, we're actually talking about that now. I don't know when the best time is. It's funny.
Well, what are you doing tomorrow?
Well, what do you mean tomorrow? Can everybody hang around tonight?
Just hang around.
Yeah. Listen, I've got one of my favorite gifts of all time I want to talk about, the indoor drone from Amazon. Let's talk about that. No, that's probably a good idea. Of course, with the supply side chain situation. I don't know whether longer or better, you know, maybe we may find ourselves holding that session in February. But yes, that's a good suggestion. And Mark, Walt, and I will meet with Summer Cates and talk about that and what makes sense. That's usually a combined event where all of us from the tech committee submit our favorite gifts. So let's see what Summer can pull off in terms of time. And if you have any suggestions on time, you know, please send them to us.
Yeah, we don't have any more questions.
Okay. So the last of the cool features is focus mode. How many times, and you know, for me, this could apply to anything, could apply to work, could apply to sleep, but for me, it's working out. I'm working out, I have my earphones in, and all of a sudden a text stream that I don't even want any part of, but I'm in the text conversation starts to happen. And it goes on, and it's binging and dinging. And if you have ADD, or those of you with ADD like myself, you know, that tone is going to drive you crazy. You're ready to take your phone and the earphones and throw it. Well, Apple had pity on people like myself. Notice this icon in the middle here. See if I can make that clear. It's a little person exercising. Focus mode allows the notifications, and it allows you to determine when you want notifications for messages, for calls, for notifications that apps send you. Let's go into settings and let's scroll to focus. That's a new addition. You will notice that you have right now, I have on there driving, fitness, personal, sleep, work. I could add some other features. I could do custom. Okay, I could do any of these. And what this allowed me to do, let's go on to fitness. What I basically did was I set this up, and it's not hard to do. I went into fitness, I turned it on. Now I come down, allow, so when I turn it on, I will get no notifications at all from texts, from messages, from calls. But of course, there might be times when, or people, when I, you know, that I want to get, that I don't want to exclude. The first is, it will allow you apps. What I did was, I allowed time-sensitive events. Apple does a great, again, artificial intelligence does a great job of determining if a call was made, if something came through that appeared to be time-sensitive, it's going to let that go through. It also learns as things go forward. The next is allow people. So I've allowed, you know, Karen, Kim, my daughter, Robbie, if they call, or they message, I'll get notifications from them. This allows me to set up and customize exactly what I want. And I can also set it for, what I did was I put it on automatic. Anytime I work out and I'm using my phone for the workout app, I don't have to do anything. It automatically knows that it's going to go to the focus mode and not send me those notifications. I could also set a schedule if I wanted, between this time and this time. You're working and you don't want to get notifications, or you're in a meeting and it's from 1 to 3. And you don't want to be notified. You may want important notifications to come through. but you want to silence those for that period of time, you can do that in focus mode. It really is convenient. You definitely ought to try this, unless you you love getting calls and notifications and emails and texts from the entire world. Anyway, that's focus mode. Once you set it up and it is to automatic, as you can see on my home screen, it will show all of the modes. I have exercise there. If I had work, it would show an icon for work. If I had sleep, and you could do that for sleep as well, obviously. What remains, okay, that I'm going to talk about kind of quickly is there's a feature that is not available as of yet. Only part of it is, and it's the digital ID. I don't know how many of you use Wallet, but I use the Wallet app. That's the Wallet app. I have credit cards in there. I have, it allowed me to put an insurance card, so I don't need to carry it. I could add another card. I could add a transit card that right now, what the digital wallet is going to do is, I think, almost eliminate wallets totally. You're going to be able to put an amazing amount of personal identification into the wallet. I want to load rather, the COVID card, which that feature will be available shortly. Another feature that will be available, and we mentioned this as one of the features, is a digital ID. Apple is probably going to add that in the next, I don't know that it'll be in 3, but probably maybe it would be. It really depends on how many more states will accept it. Right now, Connecticut, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Oklahoma, and Utah accept digital ID. Once that expands, and once you're able to do that and add it to the wallet, you will be able to go through, you'll be able to use it, your driver's license. In Maryland, you could pull out your phone, and that could suffice as your, for your driver's license and ID. TSA is in the process of updating their system to accept digital IDs from various sources. What Apple did was combine everything into the wallet. The icon for wallet looks like that. And again, you can securely store your cards in there. I use Face ID. If I go to use a card, it isn't opening that card unless it recognizes my face. If you don't have Face ID, but you have biometric with your finger, it'll recognize that. So that's the digital ID. Be on the lookout for more updates with that. That is going to be, I'm thinking in the next, I don't know, a short period of time, maybe 3 is, as short as 2 to 3 years, that we're going to see more and more people utilizing, getting used to it and utilizing digital ID. I saw a funny little marketing piece that Apple did. If any of you are Seinfeld fans, you'll remember the episode where George has that wallet that's like this, and he puts everything in the wallet. They use that as a marketing piece of, to talk about the digital wallet. Okay. What I have left to talk about is really just some real quick features that are short. They're small, but they're pretty useful. So let me start with save photos. Okay, I'm in my, you get a photo and somebody sends you a photo. Okay, let me go here. Scroll down to this one. Okay. They send you a photo, you want to save it to your pictures. You would normally have to hit the share button, go in, say save, go through that whole process, but not anymore. See that little icon up there, right next to the photo? Tap that, save photo. Everybody get that? You would go to the picture, the photo, you would tap that little icon and it would save the photo. That's all. You don't have to go down and do the whole rigmarole of hitting the share button and then, you know, hitting save photo. Really very quick, very convenient. Okay. Let me, oh, I love this. For those of you that like to enlarge text, for the ability to be able to see the screen better, Apple in the past only gave you the option of you want to enlarge the text, you enlarge it for everything. But maybe you don't want to enlarge every single app. Maybe some of the apps, you're absolutely fine. You don't need to enlarge the text. What Apple has allowed you to do now is, I'm going to open up Google, and then I'm going to go to the control center, swipe down. I'm going to go to, at the bottom here, where you see the A. It will now allow me to, I want to make the text larger, okay? And it's only doing it in Google. You see Google only. Let's go back to Google and see if the change. And you'll notice that the change took place. The text is larger. Let's go back. I'm going to go down. I'm going to scroll here to normal size. That's default. And that's it. We'll go back to Google, and now it, you know, it was back to the size that it was. I don't know if you were able to see that, but you do the same thing to text. Maybe the text is too small, and you want just to enlarge texts. So I enlarge it here. That's it. I come back, I go here, and I don't know if you can see that, but it enlarged, you know, it enlarged the text. I come back and I come down to default and you restore it. So you can see how it changed the, you know, that it went back to the same size. This allows you, any app, every single app has the ability for you to change the text size per app. So you can customize, you know, your phone in that regard, which I think is pretty important, you know, because we all, you know, again, there may be some apps that you want to have enlarged, others that you don't. For those of you that use Siri, I'm sorry, Safari. I use both Google and Safari. I like Safari, but they did something with Safari, a change that I don't like at all. They put the search bar down at the bottom. Most people don't like it there. It just looks odd. If you like to use Safari and you opened it up and you said, what is this? Well, you can change it back by going to Safari. Scroll to Safari and scroll to the bottom, and you're going to hit single tab. And now let's open Safari again, and we should see the search bar now at the top where it used to be. I believe that I could talk about a few other things, but I'm not. I think I've covered, there is one feature, background sounds. If this is meaningful for anybody, what Apple added is, let's do this. Let's go to accessibility in settings. Right there. I'm sorry. Let me get it clear here. There we go. Accessibility. Tap on that. Okay. And then go to audio visual. Scroll down, audio visual. There we go. And I can put on then background sounds. Now what background, let's see, background sounds. What background sounds does is, if you're working, if you're sleeping and you wanted to hear that soft, soothing rain or wind blowing, this will give you that background sound. This one is rain. You can set that. Let's turn that on. I don't know if you can hear that. Probably can't, but you can turn it off. So that is, for the most part, the features of iOS 15 that I found to be the most important. A suggestion: there are a lot of there's a lot of material on the web, articles about the iOS 15 update. You can pay for articles, on the 15 update. Better, let me show you. Everybody has books. The Books app. You may not find it, but everybody has it. Notice these two books right here. Apple, you can go into books, you can search for iOS 15, and it will pull up and download the iOS 15 user guide. This for iPad and for the phone. This is fantastic. This is probably the most complete explanation of using the features. And what's great about it is it can be geared for your particular model, what model you have, okay? So I want to find out about FaceTime in iOS 15. All the things I talked about today are right there. And it will guide you through, it will show you the settings, it will guide you through, and it's free. The same thing exists for iPad and for the watch. Every time there is an upgrade, an update, Apple issues a guide. And this is really comprehensive. I think this is like, how many pages is this? I think it's, well, yeah, it's about 1,000 pages to 1,900 pages. That's how comprehensive this is. And again, you can just use anything that you're interested in. It lays everything out. Last thing, and I do apologize, I did have one other thing to show you, the iPad. Okay, I don't know how many of you utilize the iPad for, basically, for work or for productivity. But one of my favorite things that they introduced last year was multitasking. Multitasking with split screens, but it was a pain to get it to work. So I've just opened up. Oh, gee, I didn't know I did that. There's a Peninsula Technology Forum. I don't know if you can see this. See the three little dots at the top? Touch that. Now, I'm going to hit the one in the middle, which is half screen. Notice it's slid over. Now I'm going to open my Files app. I can now work with both of these open. Okay, I can slide over to get more. I can slide here. I can also copy and paste and move from one app to the other. It used to be a pain to get this to work, but not anymore. I can also add a third, app if I wanted to, and then I can have them all slide over. So these are sliding. I can slide over from here. I can go back to the full screen. This is in all iPads. The ability to do this exists. And again, you just open up the app, tap at the top. You can do sliding, which is this, slides from to the next. Or you can do split screen and then pick another app. And there you go. I use this with email quite a bit, where I can paste something from an article. It could be Google or Safari, and I can paste. I can copy, and then I can paste right into the email. It's really convenient. It's all about the productivity that the iPad allows you. Folks, thank you so much. I see we've lost some people. We've gone over the time limit, which I had a feeling we might. So, any questions before we say a pleasant good night?
I don't think there are any more questions. This was a great presentation. We're pushing up against 8:30, so if anybody has any questions, you can certainly send them to I would recommend going to the Peninsula Tech Forum and asking them there. You can access this video in a number of different places, the 2 links that I sent, and as well as through the Education Center in the Tech Forum. So, Barry, it was great. Thank you very much.
I appreciate everybody tuning in. Mark, thank you very much for mentioning the forum. I think that maybe I'm going to talk to Joan Renner. I think maybe we'll create a category for questions about this session where you could go specifically to that category and ask the questions. So we'll create a category. Just be on the lookout if you have questions. One last thing that I am remiss in not doing at the very beginning. A tremendous thank you needs to go out to Diep Ledoux and his grandson Kai. The forum is very much his baby. Diep is he's not on the tech committee anymore. He's actually a member emeritus, or in the legal profession, we would call that of counsel. But he was so responsible in almost all respects for the forum being what it is today as a great site. So,
So anyway, well, thank you. And I'll leave you with Joan Gessler's comment. She says, this is better than my IT team at work.
okay, remember the 25th for, I don't know why Android people would be on this call, but in case you have a significant other that does have, or if you wanted to join this call because you wanted to find out how cool Apple is. But
Well, I'll be here, that's for sure.
yeah, Android people, we've got you covered.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Barry.
Bye.